Hello everyone and happy Sunday. So today I wanted to show you one of the amazing Candlewick Press Ology books that we have recently acquired. These books are getting harder and harder to find, especially intact, and recently we got about 5 of them that we found. So pretty excited. We had to take them all together even though there was like one that we already had. But they're pretty amazing books, and they don't make them as often as they used to. And from a graphic design standpoint, I might tell you a little bit about that as we go through this amazing volume called Monsterology. So, as you'll notice with all of these, they're very intricate, highly detailed, lots of moving parts, and all of that costs a lot of money to make. So with these books, I'd imagine that you would find that reprinting is not super easy to do. So once they've been out in the market and they've sold, that's probably about it. So let's just take a look at this one. So on the cover, you'll see this super awesome raised foil of a dragon, phoenix, some other monster mythology. I would call these like almost like mythological monsters. You have this super nice full color emblem in the center with inlaid jewels. All of that is inlaid into a cover that is kind of a soft touch printing. So it's a nice matte finish to make sure that the foil stands out really well. And they almost feel padded. I'd imagine in the construction of these, if you were to take them apart, you'd probably find a little bit of foam padding layers in between the printed part and the cardboard. Binding is tight, but it's a little loose so that it can accommodate the thickness of the book pages. It's also foiled. The back is a little bit less fancy, probably to cut costs, which makes sense. And it looks like at the time that this was printed, this one just went for $22. That's pretty low. I think now the newer ones were going for like $35 or $39.99, pretty high. And there's a reason for that. It takes a lot to print these books. A lot goes into this type of binding, this type of printing, this kind of detail, because for the most part, many of these objects inside cannot be machine created. Like, they're printed, they're assembled each by machine, but someone has to hand place them. There's probably a lot of handwork that is involved in these books. So, as with all the others in the series, this is a beautiful book. So it starts out right away with fun things to look at and do. So in addition to the printing process in general, you know, these are all illustrated, designed, printed. It takes a lot of different working parts to do all of that. So let's look at the details. How to help a hippogriff. And you'll know that hippogriffs are eagles and lions, I do believe. You will find hippogriffs in Harry Potter. So these are all kind of in like the idea of a journal, I do believe. Dr. Ernest Drake's Monsterology, the complete book of monstrous beasts, edited by Dougald A. Steer. And they have all these like initials after for all of the certifications, which is very official looking. So this is a first edition, 2008. So I love the little details. You'll see here it says publisher's note. And it says, although enigmatic, Victorian scientist Dr. Ernest Drake is usually associated with dragons, this newly discovered volume suggests that his interest could also extend to other supposedly mythical creatures. The original edition was purposely printed or published in 1904 on a print run of only 100 copies. However, the publisher has not been able to confirm the authenticity of this claim and would like to suggest that anyone interested in verifying the existence of fantastical beasts found within its pages undertake his own research. So, a lot of great drawings in these. The ship, the Hydra, a Fiji mermaid, kind of looks like a monkey and a mermaid put together. Some like, I feel like this illustration is a little on the sillier side, whereas this one is a little bit more realistic, so to speak. But to a few intrepid souls, so we get to open this little envelope and see what's inside. My very dear fellow ologists, I took a year-long holiday from my tireless work of conserving and protecting dragons. I wanted to put some flesh on the bones of a new subject that engrossed me for many years, and I shall call Monsterology. This science is the study of many supposedly mythical beasts besides dragons. So he kind of goes on to explain that he's taking a break from his usual dragon stuff to explore all the other beasts. So here is a passport. Looks like a foreign passport of some sort. It's supposed to be, it's Dr. Ernest Drake's passport. He was born in 1822. He has brown eyes, gray hair. He's British, of course. It's a natural historian. By Her Britannic Majesty's Principal Secretary of State to the Kings, Princes, Potentates, that's a fun word, and Presidents of the world. Another fun thing about the way these books are made is that they are doubled up so that things can be attached and they stay sturdy as well. Sometimes you have to feel the pages to make sure nothing comes up. But this is just a regular spread. We have this full color illustration of a griffin. It's beautifully done. Chapter 1, The Search for Fabulous Beasts. So they even say, you know, some monsters, some beasts really are fictitious, like, you know, the unicorn, but what we actually have is a rhinoceros, a Mongolian death worm. What we really have is a lindworm, which I don't think we do. Talks about equipment, unearthing evidence, archaeological finds, things like that. So this page has 2 fold-out flaps, so this beautiful map in the middle. So, fabulous beasts of the world, locations and directions. So he references his own guide to dragons here. The evolution of beasts. It's a little chart. And I want to say, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know everything about these books, but I do think that some of these other things that are referenced, if they're not other actual Ology books, I think they did put out I think they often put out little books that went with these books as companions, so they could be referencing some of them as well. So, publisher's note, this unfinished map showing the route of Dr. Drake's voyage was found amongst his possessions, and we have it included with this facsimile for interest. Although few records exist, it would appear that his ship sailed from Liverpool on March 10th, 1898, and returned almost a year later. So all of these beautiful illustrations. This was his ship. And it supposedly left here and went all around the world. Hippocampus. Tropic of Capricorn, the monstrum marsupialis, Chimera japonicus, Ursus saxum, Salamandra ignis, Ursus sasquatchus, Serpens monstrous, Serpens aquadulces, Calamarius immensum draci, maybe, Androsphinx volucer. And there are some drawings of some of the locations. The desert, Crete. They even have Massachusetts in the United States. This is Cape Ann is well known for the sea serpent sightings. One can even rent a boat from Old Bob, who will take visitors out to all of the most likely spots and display some of the unpleasant scars he claims to have received while trying to hook himself a genuine certified monstrosity. Okay. So chapter 2, Beasts of the Earth. So here we've got several diagrams of a Chimera japonicus. Oh, look at this thing. This has got a snake head, a goat head, and a lion's head. This has got like a monkey head and sort of body, a snake tail, and tiger arms or tiger legs and paws. and talons. It says, no, wait, a body like that of a tanuki, a raccoon dog. Okay. Tiger-esque legs and a snaky tail. Here is a unicorn, and this is the kind of stuff that is the reason why things like this cost so much, because this is, if you can see it, a little piece of silverized thread that is a hair from the mane of a unicorn that has been attached in the book. So this is something that no machine can do. Someone had to be a part of the making of this insertion. A human being had to have touched that to make that work. We have subspecies of unicorns: Indian, Arabian, Sumatran, and Suracan. Suracan. Which is an interesting idea here. Look at those. Beasts of the earth continued. We have a yeti. The yetis are let's see, they're part of the Himalayas. So yetis are found in the Himalayas, but the cousins of the yetis, the close relatives of the yetis, are found in many parts of the world. They include the American Bigfoot, or Sasquatch, the Chinese Yeren, the Mongolian Almas, and the marsupial yowie of Australia. It says female yetis can only be distinguished from males by their habit of twisting their whiskers into elaborate curls. Six-legged salamanders. A behemoth. The mighty behemoth is only found in the remotest northern parts of Siberia, Canada, and Greenland. It looks like an oversized mammoth. A behemoth. I like that. And here we have a shed skin from a six-legged salamander. So up close, I'll show you this sample, which is super cool. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a texture to that paper. So it's very tactile, and it has a texture and a type of it's probably a UV coating over it to make it have a texture, so and make it kind of feel like skin. So once again, how these are attached in there, it's nearly impossible for a machine to do that. So a person had to be involved in this, and just even like printing this and then printing this completely differently and merging the two. It's a very expensive process. Beasts of the water. So here we have the kraken, sea serpent, Calamarius immensum Draki maybe, I'm not sure. The mortal danger to sailors, the kraken, or supergiant squid, rarely rises from the seabed. When it does, it generates whirlpools as it dives back down into it might even drag the mightiest warship to the bottom. Tiny details that are fun. in the illustration you'll see there's the monster. There's a tiny little diver. And we have fanciful beasts. We have the sea monk, the sea bishop, and this giant squid. And there's a diver. And this specimen is from the tail of a sea serpent. Once again, another fun printed piece inside of this book. So we talk about the Loch Ness Monster, more beasts of the water. These kind of look like manatees. The Loch Ness Monster would be a lake serpent. The Kelpie. The Kelpie is a beast that, in the guise of a lost pony, tempts human prey. As soon as a rider mounts the animal, the Kelpie heads for the river, where it plunges in and drowns the hapless victim before eating it. So here we have a little photograph album. This series of photographs presented as a gift to the Societas Monstrum on the anniversary of its foundation. A plain, true photo of Nessie. Indisputable evidence of Bigfoot. A rock ROC like creature attacks. It's kind of funny. A shy unicorn does its best to hide. All you can see is its horn. Beasts of the air. So here's a hippogriff and a griffin. So I guess it's so you can see the differences because they are very similar. A hippogriff chick can fly before they can walk. So here's the skull of a griffin. Some writers claim that tales of the griffin were based on the discovery of fossil skulls of a type of dinosaur known as Protoceratops. However, as can be seen by comparing the skulls, the griffin has a narrower, hooked beak, while the Protoceratops has a large bony frill on its head. So that's the Protoceratops. You can see the beak, the cheeks, and the eye area. And the griffin doesn't have all that up there. It doesn't have the pronounced cheeks. I like this spread a lot. I like these illustrations quite a lot. Beast of the Air continued. So here's kind of what they were talking about over here. A rock-like creature attacks. It's like a robin on a bird camera. A rock. Avis Senbati. Through the long years, the rock was confused with a dragon known as Wyvern. Accurate sightings now enable us to identify the creature as a separate species, hitherto referenced in the 1001 Nights by Marco Polo. A cockatrice. You Considered a pseudo-dragon, the deadly cockatrice lives among Mediterranean pine forests. It should be approached only with great care. A phoenix, of course. And this is a specimen of ashes from a phoenix, of course. And that's basically a packet of blackish purple glitter. Semi-human beasts. Merfolk harpies. Sphinx. We've all heard of those before, I'm sure. Manticore. Shooting poison barbs from its tail at the least provocation, the manticore is equally deadly as the other end, where it probably possesses 3 rows of teeth. So I'm not as familiar with that. So it looks like a person's head, a lion or lion's body, and a scorpion tail. Book of Riddles. So what has no legs in the morning, 2 legs at noon, and 6 legs in the afternoon? The beginning of Nessie, the end of a unicorn, the start of nothing, and the finish of man. They come out at nights. They come out nights. They are lost in days, never seen by sunlight, but by moon rays. I never am, always to be. No one ever saw me, nor ever will. And yet I am in the confidence of all who live and breathe on the earth's ball. A strange book I saw, its forward came after its epilogue, its end before its introduction. Its index was the first half. What could it be? What can you catch but not throw? So I hate to even give the answers. Should I give the answers? Maybe I'll come back to that. My first is in sausage but not in meat. My second is pretty but not in neat. My third is in chance but not in risk. My fourth is in circle but also in disc. My fifth is in sun but not in sky. My last is a kiss, so what am I? They have no flesh nor feathers, no scales nor bones, but they have fingers and thumbs of their own. What are they? Some more semi-human beasts. Cyclops, a fawn, a centaur, a gorgon, which is what Medusa is. It says fawns do not speak human language but use a system of flute sounds that has yet to undergo investigation. So this is a semi-human creatures book. Vampires. Giants. Lycanthropes, which are werewolves. Gnomes. And finally zombies. So some classic Halloween monsters there. So this is about finding fabulous beasts. Conservation and protection, of course. Vital equipment, the principles of tracking. You should keep a record book, a sketching pencil, tags, tag all your findings, sample envelopes, and various types of nets in which to capture them, I'm sure. So this is Drake's illustrated record book of his 1898 voyage. The man-eating manticore, found in the jungle near India, in India, excuse me. Just a couple of pages. This is a Sargasso. Location: the Sargasso Sea in the Mid-Atlantic. Useful spells and charms. So if you encounter these beasts, you know some things you can do to help you on your journey. What do we have in here? This is an This is magical orgum writing. It was once used in ancient Ireland in order to commune with intelligent, fabulous creatures. It has a long history and is said to have been invented by a fairy, or more likely a faun, named Ogma. Carved on wooden staves, it was used by the Druids for divination, with each letter of the alphabet having a different meaning. I found a simplified gloss for orgum, which has been included in this book, as well as an orgum spell to summon fauns below. So I think maybe there's what you might need to decode that somewhere in the book. I don't know, we'll keep looking. Historic monsterologists. So before Drake, there were others. This is some little information about some of the other monsterologists. So finally we have a note from him. His Afterword. He has his collection. This is cabinet and collection right here. So I have this very nice die cut cabinet that opens up. Here we go. It opens up to all of the different specimens. So here we have a sample of Yeti fur, white in their white winter coat, presented by the monks of Dragon Mountain. Okay. Then we have a scrap of spell casting parchment for attracting mermaids. So at one point this was attached, but that is the spell casting parchment. So here, oh, you think it's missing? No, it's not. It's invisible. The hippogriff feather, invisible and insubstantially light. Here we have a prehistoric phoenix parasite trapped in amber. So there's a little bug trapped in the jewel there, if you can see it. And here we have the handy orgum translator, so yes, you can translate. That's an interesting little so 4 lines below is an S. 4 lines above is a C or K. Five diagonal hashes is an R. 4 centered is an E. H, M, M. So you could figure out what this is trying to say, perhaps. Perhaps it makes sense in English, perhaps it doesn't. But the key is in here. And finally, we have a piece of jaculus. Jaculus skin. It's a nice texture. And what goes here? The publisher's note. The final section of the cabinet was left empty by the original volume. Readers may wish to insert an interesting item of their own discovery. So you've been invited to make your own discovery. You can go back in and close the cabinet. So that, my friend, is Monsterology. I hope you enjoyed this book. I really love these. And I'm looking forward to checking out the others that we have recently acquired. I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday. Until next time, bye.